This video is on antivirals, and this is the last of the information that the standard level students would need to know for their exam. This video should be relatively short, I hope. So the big thing that Ivy wants you to know to begin this section is to know the difference between a virus and a bacteria and to be able to compare and contrast them. So with a virus is very small. It may or may not have an outer layer coating. It does have a protein core and a core of genetic material, but that genetic material is not complete and therefore it cannot reproduce on its own. In order to reproduce, a virus has to invade a healthy cell and inject their genes into the cell and use the cell's DNA to do the reproduction. Now, to compare that to a bacteria is considered to be much larger than a virus. They do have a rigid cell wall, and bacteria do have their own genetic information and are then able to reproduce on their own, so they are considered a living organism. A virus in general is considered non-living. So, how do antivirals work? Well, an antiviral drug would be given to somebody in order to combat a virus. Now, more often than not, these are actually given in the form of like shots or vaccinations or inoculations that you would be using, to prevent a disease from occurring. So when you were a little kid, you probably don't even remember this, but when you are up till you're 2 years old, you receive 5 vaccinations. And it's not limited to just these, but usually what kids are immunized for are measles, mumps, and rubella, chickenpox, diphtheria, pertussis, which is the whooping cough, among other things as well. But now that one you've probably got before you were 2, and then you got boosters when you were about 5, and you probably got another set of boosters heading into junior high. Now, because you're at an age where recently the HPV virus or an vaccination was developed, you probably are also getting the HPV vaccination. And that will prevent against the human papillomavirus, which is causes for cervical cancer, which can be really deadly. Now, each year, however, you might choose to get a flu shot. And that is another virus that's widely known. Some more serious ones are like HIV. There are other STDs, like I mentioned before, HPV, that you can get shots for to prevent. There is not an inoculation against HIV, but HIV is a virus, and if you can be treated with an antiviral medication. Now, how do antivirals work? Well, the ways that work are outlined there. And so one of the things that it can do is alters the cell's genetic material so that the virus can't use the cell then to multiply. And the second thing it could do is prevent the virus from multiplying by just blocking enzyme activity within the host cell. There are other methods that are also outlined in your reading, so the reading that you can find on Moodle, and you might want to make sure you read through those to understand them pretty well. But that's an overview of antivirals, and there's a little cartoon here, which is the vaccination man. And if you can't read, because I've got it blocked here, it says, slowly he would cruise the neighborhood, waiting for the occasional careless child who confused him with another vendor. So anyway, most kids hate getting their shots, and you're probably at an age where you don't get them very much anymore. Like I said, just the yearly flu shot. So if you have questions on this, we can talk about it the next time we meet in class.